Yeah, based on what they were saying about the Firefly script, I was just wondering, is there more of you in Jane Cobb, or is it just me?
Well, in the early going, it's obviously the creators and the writers. They put it down on the page, and then they get to know me, and hopefully I can give some input. Once they get to know who you are and the character, that's why it's such a shame it only went 13 episodes, because the places that all of the characters could have gone are, you know. Have you ever seen this comic book? There's a comic thing out there, I guess, where we all get impaled with the big spike. Did you do that? Oh yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah. So we all get our comeuppance, and then we get this big spike through our chest. And James is, his expletive is hork. H-O-R-K, exclamation point. So, you know, we all end up that way, I guess, in the sequel to Serenity. They all get worked. But at the end, yeah, Wash and Booker like, we're still alive. Super good for you. I forget what the question was.
All the way on the very back wall, right there, and then you're next over here on the side wall. Back wall first. You heard anything about Independence Day 2?
I heard that Will Smith is signed on to do 2 sequels, and that's all I heard.
Actually, I think Will Smith's camp said that's not true.
Oh, it's just a rumor then. I don't know. So, you know, I just saw that one blurb a couple of days ago, so if it's not true, it's not true.
Would you enjoy returning to that character?
Oh yeah, Major Mitchell. He'd probably be a colonel right now. Colonel Mitchell. Colonel Casey, Colonel Mitchell. Which one are you? I can't remember who I am. Mitchell in this one, Casey in that one. Yeah, it'd be great if they did it again, though.
Side wall over here.
I'm a huge Firefly fan. Jamestown is not just one favorite Firefly episode, it's one of my favorite bits of TV in general. I love the characterizations in that episode, and I think they played it off really well. And other than that, I really was just wondering if I could give you a t-shirt.
Bring it. Yeah, I mean, Jamestown, I got a statue. You're giving me 1 or 2?
We always let you take your pick. I'm a cartoonist.
Can't have all 3 then.
Jane would take all
3. They're all great. I'm going to go with this one, the alien lineup. Thank you.
I saw your hand first, right there. Yeah, you.
Speaking of your statue, here it is.
Your head on a stick.
I was sitting up here the whole time with us.
You! What's your name? I'll kill you!
I think it's appropriate. You on the Jane hat, right here?
I got really excited when I was watching Castle this season at Halloween because he came out in his Janelle costume. And I was wondering, is there any possibility of maybe Bill Casey being on Castle or maybe Castle being on...
No.
Oh, I know what we need to do. Is there any chance of Colonel Casey being on Castle? Well, I'm going to leave that up to Nathan. It's comedic network.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know. There we go. No, I love Nathan. I love Nathan Fillion. I'm so happy for him. You know, he's got season 3 picked up. So he's they're doing very well already. So I think he's, you know, it's nice to see a golden boy get, you know, locked in like that for a golden job. What? Golden boy?
Jealous.
No, he's my buddy. You know, that's the one thing. That's the one thing about. That's one thing about Hollywood that I'm so glad that I spent my first few years after I left New York, after I left Chicago in New York, because in New York, the theater community is very supportive of each other, and I learned that that's what you need to do. Because if you're not going to get a job, that's okay. The community is such in New York that it's so competitive that you know you're probably not going to get most of the jobs, and you're not going to get most of the jobs anyway. But there was just this sensibility of, hey, I heard about this. What have you heard about? And there was this sharing. And Hollywood's not like that. It's like, oh, I haven't heard of any jobs. So, you know, you root for, I root for my buddies. And we're different types. We're different types anyway.
Back here against the wall.
Do you prefer screen or voice acting?
Screen or voice acting?
Screen or voice acting? Well, voice acting's easier. And I guess screen acting pays a lot more. So, screen acting. But it's fun. They're both fun.
All the way at the back, blue shirt.
I was wondering if you're a video game fan and if you could talk about what it was like for you doing voiceovers for Halo ODST.
Yeah, I'm not a gamer. I end up shooting at the ground or the sky. I don't know if any work those damn things, but you know, your partners are yelling at you and it's too much pressure. No, I had a good time doing that. It's you go into the booth for about 4 or 5 hours and you yell, "Get over here! Hand me those grenades! Get to the turret! It's a turret!" And the trick is just to commit to it and have fun.
Let's see, you right here.
What was it like working with Mr. T and the rest of the cast of DC Cab?
I was a stupid kid then. Thrown into this blender of some of the wackiest comedians and personalities going. I mean, this was, I guess, season 2 of the A-Team. Mr. T was the biggest star in the world that year, and I remember he was very kind to me. He would call me Abbott. My name's Abbott. I'm gonna call you Abbott anyway. Because you can't argue with me. Then they would chuckle and go. Storm onto the set every morning, just in a jovial way. He would do every day. Say, "Where are my grits? Where are my grits at? Can't expect a man to work. Can't eat no grits." You know? So he had this sort of self-deprecating, mocking humor of himself. He knew he was the biggest star in the world for that moment in time, and he recognized it. So that was great. And Gary Busey was really at the height of his, what's the word?
Insanity?
Indulgences.
Okay.